Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the National Youth Show. We are back once again with another video on why the four commissioners of Iebc must now resign. Before we go into that topic and talk about it in details, do kindly subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you're notified whenever we post these educative videos. On to the topic. The Supreme Court war between Azimio team and Kenya Kwanza also brought a lot of division, as you noticed, between the commissioners of the IEBC. IEBC was basically divided in the middle, with the four commissioners on the one hand led by the vice chairperson, and the three on the other led by the chairperson Wafula Chebukati. So my expectation was that one section of the IEBC will eventually be vindicated and the other indicted for their actions. So the team led by the chairperson Chebukati and the team led by the vice chairperson Madam Cherera made several accusations and counter accusations which were on the face of them amounted to gross misconduct and therefore a violation to chapter 6 of our constitution. There are things that you'd expect that upon being indicted, then you would ordinarily, what would follow is the resignation, as it happens in many developed democracies. So this I am proposing because it is what would naturally follow in most of these developed democracies such as the United States and of course UK, France, all those developed democracies. You would find after such accusations are made and courts determine these issues, then a lot of people would resign, and there would be a lot of investigations going on how all these things happened. So my expectation was that whichever team that would proceed would find itself in the losing side, then they would resign, because that is the right thing to do for or by our constitution and by the people of Kenya as a whole. And the team that was vindicated was, again, my expectation that they would continue to serve Kenyans in their capacities, as we also employ others to help them in carrying out that duty. It is important for the commission because the division, in my view, cannot be easily forgotten, especially in view of the allegations that were being leveled by each other. So there is that deep mistrust that will be there permanently and will persist, which I don't think just mere acceptance of the Supreme Court judgment would help alleviate. So there is need for more. They lost all credibility, therefore, lost all credibility and moral authority to serve. And also, this may be a bit extended, but I feel that with such kind of indictment, they may be even be perceptible or susceptible to manipulation. So I don't see how they can work properly and discharge their constitutional duty with the kind of indictment that the Supreme Court gave them. And therefore, for the commission to work, these commissioners must leave the commission and others must come in to take their role. Let us go back a bit on the fateful day so that you can understand the magnitude of what I'm talking about. Just before the announcement, the four commissioners walked out on the 11th hour and went and addressed the nation. In that address, they alleged that results were being altered to favor His Excellency Dr. Ruto, and that Chebukati had also given access to some other foreigner, what they called opaque, that this whole process was now opaque according to them, having participated in the whole process since its inception up to now, the point okay, now 1 hour to the now announcement of the results. They came out and now say now the whole we did a good job, but now at this stage we find the process now to be a bit opaque. The kind of word they used, quite curiously, is one of the words that the Supreme Court had used in 2017 judgment, where it nullified the elections. So that was again pointed because it was setting the stage for Supreme Court war. And then using the word of the Supreme Court against it was intended to sway the Supreme Court to agree more with them. The accusations also came from within the ranks of politicians themselves. You'd find Kenya Kwanza accusing Azimio side of probably using one section of the IBC. In this case, Azimio accused so vehemently Chebukati as being used by Kenya Kwanza, and the others also are being accused as being used by Azimio. So both teams made very serious allegations, and therefore when the scrutiny report finally came, I found Mr. Chebukati's team was vindicated on all accusations, I must say, and the 4 commissioners were greatly indicted by the holding of the Supreme Court. Accordingly, I do find that what Chebukati's team was saying is the truth, or it is substantially true. I just can't now come to understand, because the allegations that were being made, there must have been an attempt to subvert the will of the people. And the commissioners were being used by the executive to create an impression of a divided commission, so that it could show the Supreme Court that the commission was incapable, or IBC was incapable of delivering a free, fair, and verifiable results. The mistake, however, is that their walkout came at the tail end. And on Cherera's own admission, that during that presser, that the process went on well, but until that point. So that is why the Supreme Court really wondered whether they are to nullify an election based on some kind of boardroom disagreement between the commissioners. So if you look at the way even the Chief Justice spoke, and I want just to quote this for you so that you can see the weight of it while delivering that final judgment. She said that the bench takes cognizance that the 4 actively participated in the tallying and verification exercise from the beginning until just before the declaration of the results by the chairperson. And that we note, that was very critical, and that we note that aside from the 11th hour walkout, the 4 commissioners have not placed before this court any document to show that the result of the election was altered. So they made this allegation without any evidence. Justice Nyang'aya, Masit, Cherera, and the other one whom I've forgotten his name, made these allegations, very serious allegations, without an iota of evidence. And I was really surprised when the report by the registrar finally came and vindicated the chairperson. I knew at that point that this election was verifiable, and the only hope for Azimio probably was now on the constitutional argument to say the election did not conform with the constitution, but that was now going to be very difficult. So as I conclude, as a nationalist, we must inculcate a culture of accountability People, especially those trusted with government institution, must be held to account for what they do. You know, you have to be accountable for what you do. Just imagine what happened. That people trying all they can to subvert the will of the people. Sovereign will of Kenya, that millions of Kenyans came out on 9th of August and voted. And in that vote, there had to be a winner. And that winner turned out to be Dr. William Ruto. And then somebody somewhere wanted to subvert that. You cannot imagine how that can plunge this country into chaos. How fast we forgot 2007 when that happened. People killed each other because of that. We cannot support that. That is akin to treason, I must say. And they cannot continue, the four commissioners cannot continue to serve after such indictment by the Supreme Court. The four must resign. Ladies and gentlemen, we again ask you, if you find this videos educative, we ask you, please kindly do subscribe, share these videos so that we can reach a bigger viewership, because it is really important that we now come together as Kenyans and really talk as one and not as Azimio or Kenya Kwanza. We must protect our institution, because today if it does not work, or if I'm happy it is working against you, tomorrow it will work against me. So we must protect our institution so that it works for all of us. Thank you very much. Subscribe, like, share, and comment.